Well, what can I say but Happy New Year to all of you. Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn, and I am that Shawn. And so much to say, and on the other side, there's so little to say. Again, for one thing, I have to address last week. I know many of you were disappointed, but let me tell you, it was not time spent idly. Fact of the matter is, I think all of you knew that I had a birthday coming on, and I think everybody knows that I was born on my dad's birthday, 30 years apart. So I also wasn't feeling well coming that day. Now, not exactly sure, but some of it I think could actually be the stress from the excitement. It truly, stress can work both ways. You can get anxiety and stress and from excitement as well, because my son, who of course had been a year and a half I hadn't seen in Japan, has taken his next post is in outside of DC, or into DC, basically Washington DC. And so yes, I saw him over the holidays, but he made a special trip back just himself so that he could come pick me up and drive me to my father's in L&J, which is about an hour away. And yes, I probably could have driven, but what better time than that time spent in the car? I remember so many times that it was the best quality time I had when I would have to take him back to school after being with him for a weekend. And it was a good long drive back to Helen, to White County, from where I lived on the lake. And so that was my quality time. He couldn't do anything else. His little thing wouldn't work or come in. I didn't let him on the phone. He was still young then. And so it was just he and I, and we would have the best time and spend it so creatively. So it was kind of like that, except role reversal. He was driving me, and you know, he was almost being fatherly to me about getting well, and he had a lot of good things to say, and he had such positive affirmations. He so my dad, 91, what a great visit. Spent the night, came back, and it didn't stop there. On the way back, I walked two sides of a street, which I hadn't done. Ball ground. I mean, down here in North Georgia, especially, even outside of that sphere, ball ground is known as the kind of a rock hound center in a way. There's a gentleman there that has many, many, many claims of mineral specimens in the surrounding counties, and was a big influencer in the rockhound community. And there's a rock shop that is pretty much just frozen in time, left to his legacy there, and has all of ball ground. Really is developing. It's quite something. It's in its transformation stage from going to this absolutely nobody, every building empty, to a lot of life and growth. And it's only like 10 minutes from where I live. So I did some, we both did some serious window peeking in, and I talked to him a lot about the history of the person, and you know, the big white house that belongs to the family, and some of the mine claims that I had been on, and the rest is history and secrets that I shall keep to myself. So I had to decide, really, going to see my 91-year-old father who had 4 doctor visits this week. Really, the best thing was for me to also limit my exposure, so that I would limit my exposure to with my dad. And so I could feel real good about that. I mean, and I did. So my 3 generations, and I cannot say there was nothing that could have been a better way to spend the time that I did. And so besides that, 800 pounds, my son, I helped. He did most of the work. You know what I did? I ran the tractor to the back of the pickup truck and dumped my share of the load into the pickup truck. And that's what I did. But it was still work. It was still getting out and exercise. 800 pounds of stuff that, you know, he had been on me to get rid of in the basement that I just didn't need. You know, if you don't open a bag for ever since you moved to the location like 8 years ago and have never even opened it to even look to see what's in the bag, you don't need it. You don't need it. And so I said to open the bag just to make sure that there wasn't any kind of rock stuff, you know? Right, rock stuff. Anyway, great time spent. And but it was an underlying illness at the beginning. I wanted to do everything I could, so I did not take any sort of illness to my father. It all worked out wonderful. But I do feel guilty, and I thought about all of you. But we got to watch the show. A lot of interest from my family in the show. So now let me take this opportunity, and since we only have a few comments, and that's going to go by quickly, there's no trivia. So let me just go into what the show is all about. This show is posting up on YouTube now. It is a produced, sponsored, fully every part of Gem Shopping Network. Gem Shopping Network has been here around 30 years or so. 24/7 network, nationwide and beyond. And I can tell you from having had a live show here for 9 years, I've had my own live show. I've worked for Gem Shopping as a host. I have worked for another vendor as a host. I then have was the first host to start the podcast for the network. And that has been over 4 years ago. And so it has been a wonderful, wonderful time. We do a show a week. It usually always posts up around Monday. Around noon on Mondays. And in the show, usually lasts around 2.5 hours or so. And at the end of it, we usually do a 2-question trivia where I give away the prize the following weekend. And the trivia questions are based upon something that I will have said, referred to, or something I will have said or referred to in past shows. Usually I use the current show, so your memory's fresh, and I give you every ability to and chance to win it. Taking notes is fair, but rewinding and going back and looking for the answer to listen to the answer isn't. You can still participate. Just say that you can opt out of the winning part of the challenge. Many people have won, you know, really 5, 6 times in a year. So very high chances of a person winning. And there's something also magical about the show. So more times than not, what the free gift that's given freely from my heart and freely from Gem Shopping's heart, because of course, time belongs to Gem Shopping. That time I choose to share in the way that I do, but ultimately that time is still Gem Shopping's. They are passing on and, you know, have never said anything about me taking the time to give something away free. And I have done that for a long time now. The item isn't some little trinket item. It's usually quite either unique or rare or valuable or a combination of all of the above. So it is worth it to participate in trivia. Now, the other thing, it is posted up on YouTube. So when you want to search, you can just search Gem Collectors with Shawn. And as a matter of fact, because of all of your comments regarding my son's mom's generous things that she gave back to me 30 years later, from when I had made them for her jewelry pieces to sell for me to keep the proceeds from, to help me with my everything from medical to financial situation. She hadn't seen the show in a while. She had seen the live show. So she was curious and she wanted to see her items on TV. Maybe she was curious about what I asked for them money-wise, but I doubt that because she had no interest in the money, even up front. I think she had heard from Colin how I spoke of her, and it was good probably for her to hear. And so anyway, that was good because you know what? I had a person looking to try to find where exactly it was, and it helped me understand some of the trouble someone might have looking for the show. And so I told her where to look for. And then since there was multiple shows, you know, I told her how to search for on the, and like, I really know this stuff. But the smarter people like younger Dave, my friend and cameraman right here, that teach me these things, then that I really don't know them. But Gem Collectors with Shawn will get you right there. Or you can go to gemshopping.com, go to the bottom of the homepage, and there's a block that says Learning Center. Just click on it, and boom, right there it says see Shawn or whatever other connections. It will also take you, both links, whether you go through YouTube directly or through Gem Shopping, will take you also to another wonderful Gem Shopping produced, and the director of production directed and produced the episodes, and that is How It's Done, series of the most amazing and concise, how should I say this? I guess, I want to say video because I'm old school, but it's not. A DVR handbook. DVR handbook. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm trying to translate the old school to new words on how you might fully grip, understand, and realize why a certain price is charged when you have to have your prongs rebuilt on your ring, or why a platinum sizing takes more time and effort than a gold sizing. Because what these 30 episodes do is take you through every imaginable, and I mean every, we went until I was having difficulty coming up with subject matter, every type of repair, including custom-made piece of jewelry, from the carving, the wax, starting all the way up, plus a incredible pendant that we did intentionally to show you what it takes to actually hand make a piece that would fit within the new FTC guidelines for what you can call something as being handmade. When you see something that's truly handmade, you know why a handmade piece is so special over something that isn't. And we do it every step by step in a beautiful opal pendant, where in the end the opal spins. Rose gold, yes, we alloyed and made rose gold. We rolled it through a rolling mill. Really neat work of art. So make sure you see that. We also covered how do you get a ring off your finger if it's been swollen and you don't want to destroy it by cutting it. And how do you drill a gemstone? How do you drill a gemstone? I think, or how do you drill a crystal? No, I think either one. Over 100,000 views. I kid you not, over 100,000 views. So the information that Gem Shopping produced, but more so the team of Asif and Shawn and this wonderful little group that supports and is behind the production of Gem Collectors with Shawn. In other words, there's another Shawn that did the editing, which was phenomenal. That's what tied so much of it together. It was really Asif that kept me from running on like you see me doing all the time, and focused. And, you know, I told him that. I said, you know what? I really see why and the purpose of the need for a director. And then, of course, the producer also, because all-encompassing the project and to keep it on course and whatnot. So wonderful job done. Highly recommend you do it. I wish there was something I could have come up with to give you those who watch every episode. And they're not that long. Every episode, some certificate when you finish. Because believe me, the level of knowledge you will have will far exceed that of so many what I call clerks that actually work in jewelry stores, or people that actually work at the bench even, but haven't worked on the harder projects. You would know how to flush set a diamond or a gem. Very cool stuff there. All right, so that's what you can find behind Gem Collectors with Shawn. That's how you find Gem Collectors with Shawn. And now the current Gem Collectors with Shawn is, we're free to show anything. You heard me talk about jewelry, fossils. Today's show, you're going to love it, of course, because for actually quite some time, I think pretty much the entire period of this podcast, and I do say it with a smile, there's no other way to say it. Our passion for gems and minerals is so great that we decided that we did not need to go to another gem or mineral show and buy another thing. We decided to actually not only sell from some things that we had in our inventory, what we consider inventory, but most of what you have been receiving now, going on for years, a couple years now, and that's why so many items say Shawn's collection, Shawn's collection. That is exactly what it is. It is literally, we are taking it off of the credenza. We're taking it off of our shelf, taking it out of my display cabinet. And, you know, I looked the other day, it was difficult to tell that anything was even missing after what we amounted to 4,000 pieces sold so far on average. 4,000 pieces. When you sell 4,000 pieces and you really can't tell or notice anything missing, maybe I did at 61 need to just get rid of, but just a few items, you know, just a few. But as time has gone on, you have noticed it's gotten into the better and better stuff. So yes, some of it is more expensive, but relative to what it would cost you in a regular market, you're saving so much money. This material, for those of you that aren't aware of exactly who this Shawn is, I got into rock hunting at the age of 11 when my family I'm one of 6, number 4 down, to a family vacation in the Cowee Valley of North Carolina. That's Macon County. That is the start of really the gem industry, so to speak, in the United States. Began with the tourmalines discovered in Maine and the rubies and sapphires in the Cowee Valley first. And they had even sent down Tiffany and Company curator, Frederick Coons, to take part in obtaining rubies and sapphires from the Cowee Valley. I panned there just extensively from the age, all summers long, because you know why? My uncle had a 200-acre farm that backed up to the Nantahala National Forest right there in Otto, right there in the county. Made it so convenient. My parents would drop me off at my cousins. They were all within our playing range. And with that many acres, they were the ones with all the cool play toys, the 6-wheel drive, and the freedom. And then the freedom. Parents just let us all just roam. And there was a mica mine at the top of the mountain, right on the edge of the National Forest, an old mica mine. Oh yeah, I think I told one time my story about riding a motorcycle up there. And yeah, I'll tell it real quick because now once I open the door to the story, okay, I was on an Enduro. It wasn't a big bike. I never believed in riding bikes a lot bigger than me because I knew, even a 125 was powerful enough. This was a 175, still on a flat road or whatever, or, hills, whatever. I'd have been fine. But no, I was on an old logging, what would have been a logging trail and a mining road, which after the 1940s, the mine was closed. So the rain had washed out and gutted out this path, I guess, up to the old mica mine. And I was going to take the shortcut. So I'm going along and brother's in front of me and it's bumping up and down. And ladies, for those of you who haven't ridden one, those bikes, your throttle, in other words, what makes it go faster is actually on the handlebar itself. And the brake is the calipers like a bike, and then you turn the throttle to go faster, right? Yeah, well, I hit something you're supposed to be aware and be careful of, but still, I didn't have that much experience on those type. I hit a little bump in the path, well, I'll still remember. And so my hand jerked down on that throttle. That wheel engaged quickly by way of torque. Front end comes up. Shawn goes off the back of it. And that bike came out from under me, but its throttle didn't quit. It was stuck, and it was just right there near my head. It was something out of a movie. Luckily, I hit the kill switch, and I think I lay there 5 minutes recovering. And you know what? Yeah, I didn't get on that horse to ride it again. No, that's just something for, you know, storybooks to say. I walked that bike, even though it cranked back up fine. I walked that bike all the way down the mountain. Now, if I had to still go up, I don't know, a bit different. And it was a hot summer day. I walked it all the way back down. All right, so that's my story. We have lots to cover today, so I had a little extra time. So for those of you, I wanted to give you the background. Start in family vacation to the Cowrie Valley. When I got back to Sarasota, Florida, I said to my mom and dad, I had found some of those Indian salted rubies, but I didn't really know what they were. And, you know, I just saw these big red stones. I said, Mommy, Daddy, I found $1 million worth of ruby. I want to learn how to cut them. Well, sure enough, they did an investigation down on St. Armand's Circle in Sarasota. There was this old hippie jewelry store now in a really, really nice high-end area. And the gentleman, his name was Scott. And he pretty much almost lived out of his car. But other than that, he lived in, like, I'd call it a communal home of hippies, right? So I'd been over there. And he had a stash place for his opal collection, which was absolutely mind-blowing, even relative to what I've seen since then. And so he told me he showed it to me one day. Those of you that are old enough will remember exactly what I'm talking about. The old station wagon where the back gate opens up, right? And then you had basically a fifth seat that would fold up and you'd face backwards. And when the fifth seat where it would stash and compartmentalize created a little kind of gap in the back area there underneath the seat. And that's where he had his glass cases, Riker mount boxes like we have, and in them row after row after row after row of amazing, amazing, amazing opals. If anybody would have, and the car couldn't have been worth $100, but maybe that was his method of, like, say, hey, no one's going to steal this car, you know, they'll get something better because almost anything next to it is going to be better. Maybe that was the idea, because if anyone actually did steal that car, the treasure they would be getting would have been phenomenal. So last I saw him was maybe 10 years ago, still was cutting stones, still teaching stones, actually taught opal cabochoning to the other Shawn, for those who've been here at Gem Shopping long enough, the other Shawn that has done stone cutting here a number of years ago. Yeah, there's been several Shawns around this place a number of years ago. And it was kind of funny because, you know, Shawn's younger than I, as most everybody here. And it was funny, he was learning, maybe this was like 8 or 10 years ago, learning from the same person I learned from 40 years prior in stone cutting. So it kind of made me feel old in one way, but then it also made me feel very experienced, and it was pretty cool to see. So that fired it up. Those lessons, those stone cutting lessons, led to faceting lessons at 15, which was only one lesson, and taught myself the rest since. At the same time, I got into silversmithing at 15 because I was tired of having the hippies make money off of me. I thought, I can do that. 17, I got into goldsmithing, took a 1-week class. The rest was working under mentors and self-taught. And by the time I was 20, I was managing a large trade shop in East Tennessee. Also then got my desire to go out west. And my mom even wrote, go west, young man, which was a saying then for people to settle the West. And I wound up working with an Italian goldsmith. I had all these new fancy ways of how to do things. He would not let me use a single method that would have saved so much time. He said, no, you are going to learn the old way first. I was never so appreciative. And I'm talking about some stuff was painstakingly slow and outdated, but to learn it that way as I look back is something that a modern person obtaining their certificate for goldsmithing has to pay a fortune's worth in educational lessons in Italy to get what I got for free. How to hand make tubing. It went on and on. Only then, once I mastered that, did he then allow me to use my faster and better equipment. Even though he agreed that my equipment was more efficient, faster and better, he never wanted to learn it that way. I don't blame him. That was great. I came back, I ran an even bigger rock shop, went to work Zales. Zales' diamond remount program for 60 stores every 90 days. Rest is history, because I was picked up in Atlanta, Georgia when they were opening the new outlet mall to do work for every jeweler in the, not outlet mall, excuse me, the Galleria Mall, a big difference, Galleria Mall. And there was 8 jewelers in there when it opened up. And they all agreed to give me their work. I worked out of one of the stores, worked for myself then, age of 21, and I never stopped since the age of 21. Just celebrated now, 40 years since I was 21, turning 61. 40 years you have, and that is experience since the age of 21, which by then I was a master lapidary and a master goldsmith. So yeah, it's been a great time. What I do now, when I like to have fun in rocks and mills, prospecting. That's for another day. Okay, we had a little moment. Now, let's go to comments. All right, now, first we have Mark. Now, this is something I worked on behind the scenes, and none of you got to see it. None of you knew it, but Mark was wanting to get who didn't know me, but he knew that the person that he was getting this specimen for liked my show. So he contacted Gem Shopping, and I got in touch with him as to what he wanted. He had a budget that would allow me to, it was a tough decision, but I have to tell you what I wound up parting with, because I couldn't show it on air. None of you have seen it. And it was absolutely would have made, is museum quality for especially the North Carolina area. It was not emerald from the Crabtree mine, but a big specimen, cabinet-sized specimen with golden beryl crystals like that big, that long, beautiful translucency to some areas transparent in some parts, had all the associated minerals, was a stunning, stunning specimen. It was in my personal collection, and yeah, but he had contacted me, and we worked it out. But that can be done. So if any of you want to do something like that, you know, and something special, or have the budget and need it to be a little bit more discreet from other eyes that watch this show, just contact me, Shawn at gemshopping.com. Couldn't be easier. Okay, so that's what Mark had to say. He just said thank you. He was shocked, and also was amazed that I personally picked out the piece for him. Well, of course I would. And that's what what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it special, because when someone is entrusting you with a budget and a sight unseen, now granted, if you just went, you always can return it. Great. Gem Shopping, even the rocks are covered underneath that policy. So, of course he didn't, he loved it. And the value was insane compared to what something like that would sell for coming from there. Golden beryl is found at that mine, at Crabtree mine, but it is, as far as compared to emerald, actually way more rare than emerald, especially the size of those crystals. I wish I could actually show you the specimen now, but it is gone. Actually gone even up north. So anyway, then now we have a David, and he asked if we sell natural, unheated, and untreated gemstones that come with certificates of authenticity, and if so, can I buy them online? I'm especially interested in Afghanite. Do you sell that? Okay, well, David, let me just answer this, because that's actually a good question for anybody new or watching Gem Shopping Network. Now, a great policy we've always had in place, and I'm such a stickler about things being what they are supposed to be. We sell nothing synthetic, nothing lab grown. The only time you'll run into any kind of synthetic is like in an antique piece of jewelry, which was a typical of the time period, usually the 20s or 30s, and usually they were sapphires or the little emeralds that was difficult and often broke. Those fully acceptable because was the way the piece was made. Any other time, no. No lab-grown diamonds, none of that. So that extends into rocks and minerals. We don't sit here and sell, oh, we don't sell that. I won't say it's because some people like the prettiness of it. That aqua aura or any of those coated topazes or even dyed pink agates or blue agates or purple agates. When I see those, we just go, we cringe. Anyway, we make sure that nothing slips through in that department. So, David, now, when it comes to, yes, many gemstones are sold here at Gem Shopping across other shows, not just mine, but I've had them here as well. And most of the gemstones, because it's much less expensive, will be sold without a certificate. Depending on the type of certificate, though, if you want a GIA certificate, it can add hundreds of dollars for a stone for a $100 stone. When you're talking about faceted goods and gemstones. So it's used, sparingly. Now, in some cases, items here at Gem Shopping Network, this is what's so great, must be certified or we can't sell them. For example, because of the crush of, let's just say treated yellow sapphires. We have to sell yellow sapphires of any size with a certificate that they're natural, because there was a huge dump of them and still easy to treat them to make them yellow. Also, padparacha, that rare color in sapphire. Can't call something or sell it as padparacha without a certificate saying and having been graded as such. Now, when it comes to mineral specimens, now, Afghanite, if you're trying to make it a trick question on me, you're not going to beat me. And I'm just teasing you about that because it's funny. Do you realize that all the lapis lazuli that has been sold in the world is not lapis lazuli? It has all been determined to be, and this is what only my family of rock stars will understand and will have heard. Aween. Yes, all the lapis is Aween. And it has been determined by the highest of and the best grade and technical instruments. And there's a sulfur component that has to be present or not, or to a certain degree, to make it officially into the lapis department. And so far, all of the lapis that has been tested has actually not been lapis. Now, I say that because running into the same families and into that close-knit bunch, you can have sodalite involved and Afghanite. Afghanite. Now, I have sold Afghanite. I have sold genuine Afghanite, matching and having all the properties as it should. I think I know what you mean. If you have been to the internet to buy Afghanite, I wouldn't do it. There is a lot of people that do not know even what I'm talking about. Dealers that have no idea about the close difference chemically from one of those minerals to the next in that kind of range of family range. So Afghanite specimen I sold probably was $60 to $100. Certification for it to be Afghanite, $150. If it could even be done. I know places, labs, all the gem labs won't do mineral specimens. They may actually do a bigger mineral specimen, but they do it by weight. So I have no idea how they would determine a larger mineral specimen as far as to determine. But you know, it does take to do it right, the spectroscopy, or they also have other kinds of even more accurate methods of spitting out. I wish I want those machines. Oh, because you know what I use it for? Assaying. I'd get down in there in the creek, I'd crush up some rock, and then I'd say, has it got any gold in it? That's what I'd use it for. I know Latif's the cameraman today, my old buddy Latif, and a fellow rock hound also. Yeah, he's got gemstones as well. So, yeah, he knows what time it is. Okay, so that's the lowdown on Afghanite. Yeah, I think it sounds like you bought something, or you are aware that you're able to buy Afghanite and it not be Afghanite. Very true, my man. That's why trust your sources and go to the source that has a right to return it, which right here, gem chopping. Now, do I have any Afghanite? Probably in the collection somewhere, but you know, I don't have one coming up for sale at the moment. Okay, you know what? That's enough. Let's get started. We got lots of great stuff. I goofed off a little bit today, but I thought at the beginning of the year, we'd give a little background refresh on not only this show, but myself and Gem Shopping Network, and how to find what you need this show. Be right back. Wow. All right. You haven't seen me come up with something like this in a while, right? Well, you have no idea how many you want to see. Oh, yeah. There's no telling what Shawn can pull out of his hat. And believe me, after, 50 years now doing this and in the industry, I have collected a little bit of everything. Here's a really nice opal. The other nice thing, you know what I've collected? I've collected these things at a bargain of a price that you won't find anywhere else. This opal, $32. How quick can you go and run and get it? What is that, 20 bucks a carat? I remember getting these things. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The Wellow field where this is from, when the price came out, when they came out. Yeah. Price on it, $32 for the whole stone. Yeah, $32 for the whole stone. I kid you not. Now, we cover this little show, this little corner, this little niche of gem shopping. If you discover it, you'd never leave it. Because item number 1045122 is going to prove to you that there are things to be found in this show that you cannot find, period, wherever you may look. Take a look at what I have for you now. If we could remove the black background and look at this. I kid you not. When have you seen a star spinel, Latif? I know. Look at that, a star spinel. And this is actually, I put charcoal purple. You know what? I was looking at different lights. This actually, at first I had blue, and right now looking at it, I should have put charcoal blue. I should have put charcoal blue. But let me tell you, they can have a color shift as well. This could just as easily be a lavenderish purple in another color. I'm just trying one now. And so, yeah, it's more like charcoal, depending on what color light you're in. That's the other color. Wow. Wow. I have another light I'm using right now, and you can really see how broad and effective different lighting can really make the star look. So if in one particular light, it only looks a certain way, you say, oh, I don't really like it. Well, just wait until another light. Kind of like weather in Georgia. You don't like it? Just wait until the next day, next hour. We're supposed to have a big storm coming this weekend. We'll see. We'll see. Get kind of excited anytime there's any kind of weather. You never know what it does to the surface of the ground, to the shifting layers. Things move. Things become visible. I love the wintertime. You can look back into the woods. You can see where the old mine tailing pile are. That's how, especially down here, we are in where I live. We are literally in the buckle of the Bible Belt. Geographically, and geologically. We got it. Really fortunate to have that. All right, this stone. I know. When's the last time you saw one? The last time on this show. I looked it up. It was an over 4 carat one. And I sold a star pink spinel. I went back in the records because actually with the, and I've had this system that was developed by a guy's been here forever, great guy, John. And I went back and looked in the system and I actually had a pink star spinel at one time that I sold. Probably never should have, probably kept it. Guess what? You want a true collector stone? I don't even need to say that. And I was going to put some light to it and put it on. We don't need to do that. It has a sense of translucency to it. I've already tried that at home. I'll let you try it at home. How about this? I thought what would be crazy, crazy? How about half of what is crazy, crazy inexpensive? Make this $94. That's $50 a carat. $94. That is only $50 a carat. It would be tough to get a bluish color star sapphire at that price, let alone a star spinel. No, yeah, did you all read that right? That's a spinel. You probably saw, you got the star, you got the Sri Lanka, and then the brain switched over to sapphire. I bet there is not, I bet there's at least one of you that just realized what I said, that it's a spinel and not a sapphire. I had to, when I was going through to see, had to take a second glance, and that's what it did to me. I got to the first two, the mind switched over. I said, no, wait a second, that's cut really deep. And there's only one stone that they cut really deep like that because they maximize the weight if the weight is there. And I said, is that a spinel? And I reread it, and sure enough. And I know by right now, that stone is sold. I just have a feeling. I don't know. Just have a feeling. Now, you know what? We've got the lights all in the right place, and let me show you. So if I could have a background, 1044322. 1044322. Something else I have never offered, except some of the finest Boulder opal I did offer was as handles for gemstone knives. And they would have been cut from something of like this. Yeah, this is a huge piece of Boulder opal. The rough, the matrix, look at this, in the ironstone. Now, here's what's so stunning. This is, this is what's so amazing. This piece, is 1044322. Or 1044. 322. You got it? Okay. Does it need the info? Check this out. Everybody's got the same info here, but so you can read it together because it's worthwhile. Queensland, Australia. Okay, we'll talk about that because I've heard some people actually talk about it incorrectly. Boulder opal, 2,095 carats, and ironstone. This, of course, my collector specimen, because remember what my favorite stone is. Not really actually garnets, because that's my collector stone and my birthstone. My favorite stone, because no two ever look alike, is opal. And it's my mom's and my son's birthstone, so there is a birthstone connection to it. 419 grams. Don't ever forget, there's 5 carats to a gram. That way, you can convert in your own mind without looking like a dummy when you go to places where you need to convert. Always better, for one thing, carry a loop. You look like you know what you're doing as well, and they will think you know what you're doing. Make sure you put the loop to your eye, then bring the ring into the focus. Focuses. The biggest way we can always tell a newbie is when they do not put the loop all the way to their eye and instead hold it out and then put the ring behind it. Nope, you're not in the jewelry business. So you do need to know those. The other thing, an inch. All right, there you go. We got it all. Now, the other thing you need to know is millimeters to an inch. 25.4 millimeters makes an inch. That way you can always, you can kind of forget the 0.4 sometimes. You can just round off 25 millimeters to an inch. Okay, let's do that. My number again, 1044322. 1044322. And is it on the sheet correctly? Let me check that. Okay, yep, we are all good on that. And now, this is what's rare about boulder opal. About boulder opal is the fact that you can, what you see on the outside and whatnot, can hide what is on the inside. You're right, that did leave off a couple. I had them on there, I'm so sorry about that. Can hide what may be on the inside. In other words, could there be some fantastic vein of opal inside this that we're not seeing? Absolutely. Of course there can be. Look at this one just on the back. You know, this is what the miner makes a choice. Look at that. That is a thick color bar that is absolutely cuttable. It looks like it could go far enough. Look at these color bars. So could there be a color bar of red inside? Yes. Yes. Now what they go by is the trend. Okay, they look at the outside and they say, okay, well, it looks like it's trending green, blue, you know, probably gives it a lesser chance of there being other colors, yellows and whatnot, in any material on the inside. That, okay, maybe I go along with that understanding. But the part about whether there's a big, thicker, valuable area of color on the inside is absolutely something no one can predict. Can't predict it. You have no idea. Just no idea actually what is on the inside. But it makes a fantastic specimen. It's neat that they quit at a certain place. It's also more neat that you have a connection through me, who I'm just going to say through all these years, if I didn't develop some people that know, that have, you know, have allowed me to get things that other people can't, well, then I haven't done something right. Because guess what? His name's Roddy. We even like to, that's the way he calls himself. Roddy from Queensland. And this guy has, and you know, Raven knows him. We have a carved, huge, over a foot long seal on a, carved in opal ironstone on an ironstone base. And she carried that back from out west. And it's heavy. It's heavy. Anyway, it came from his mind. He gave it to her. He's never, I'm the one to buy all the stuff and pay the, does he give me anything? No, but he's smart. He gives things to the women. So anyway, he's that kind of, all Australians are. Okay, so he's got an incredible mind. And if you've been at this show long enough, remember those, I think we ended up selling over 40 of those Boulder Opal, remember those Boulder Opal, were they drilled? Those pieces from Roddy? Yeah, they were drilled and ready to go, kind of Boulder Opal pendants. They were such a deal and so inexpensive. Okay, let's go in close one more time, and then I'm going to give the price on this. No, I'll give the price, and then all right, here's what's crazy, because if you cut one stone from it, you can get your money back. $248. Now, let me show you. Yeah, I said 248. Look at the color in here when you really get to looking closer. Look at, you know, as a cutter, but as a specimen, it's gorgeous nonetheless. But as a cutter, there is opportunities in here to really break this down. But, you know, once you do that, then you kind of lose the size of the specimen. But, I don't know. The way, remember the way Boulder Opal is cut? You know, it's fine to have ironstone coming through or patchwork. Now, overall, when you go to evaluate it, the less ironstone coming through the surface is more valuable. The less is more better. But look at these thick color bars. I mean, you could chase those inside and see what's there. You don't know. I mean, the person that I got this from, I actually, again, think it came in one of those big estates. I think it's that same estate you've gotten advantage of. Look at how level that is. That is all you do. Isn't that right, Latif? Just cut this piece out right there. And you don't even have to polish the top, not on Boulder Opal. Just that natural finish. It's that glass finish is just fine. So there's so much going on for the price of only $248. That is a one-time chance. One-time chance. Okay, I have some stunning stuff that's okay, let me show you next. This is item 104492. 1044922. And here is a incredible parcel of something that I have not featured in a while. Hold on, where's the turntable? Now, okay, thank you. Let me show you first before I put them on the turntable. We'll remove this and the color. So look at that. Look at the three of these showing you through. You're going to get the little cutesy tube, tension, whatever. And look at the color of them. Look at these beautiful Tanzanian. Now here's the nice thing about this material, because you know I really am a purist in the end. If I had my druthers, everything would be just the way it came out of the ground. Nothing would ever be touched. But all right, these Tanzanian goods in this color range, when you see that pink to rose color, by the way, did you see that pink to rose color? See the different colors at different angles? So this, all natural color. Nice cut to it as well. Little couple fingers mirrors. Look at the color to this. Look at the color to that. Now that's a gorgeous, gorgeous zircon. Wonderful, wonderful cushion cut. And then this cut as well. Isn't that pretty? Really nice shape to it as well. And let's look at it through different angles, see what other colors might be in there. All right, so 3 stones. Now, have a price in your mind before I tell you what it is, because you're going to be kind of, I think, shocked. If you miss out, I am going to have some more of these. I'm just going to tell you, there are going to be some more of these that I'm going to parcel up. I have to just see. So here's the deal. It's even on the tag. Go ahead. Show them and put up there. I don't even have to say it. It's even on the tag. The special price, which is here. I'm going to show you because I never do it. It's like a blue light special right there. Look at that. $68 special on that gem parcel. $68. That is less than $12 a carat. You're flipping out now, I know. Less than 12 a carat. And remember, look, those are 3 stones at 5.75 a carat. They're big. It's not like it's a bunch of milli. Your average weight is almost 2 carats each. And the one that is the smallest is that even much more valuable kind of grape color. So, yeah. Now, that's the opening special. I put special there. Will the others be at the same opportunity and price? Maybe not. And that's why it has the word special. So if they are more, you don't say, but the others were but. Yeah, I did a special eye-grabbing opportunity for you. Now, let's look at something else that in some worlds, it may be outdated. 104-4522. 104-4522. But in other areas, peoples, it may not be so outdated. Go ahead. Look at this. Check this out. Okay, before we go any further, I wanted to take this just quick moment to show everybody. Of course, you're oohing and ahhing. Anybody that would look at that black opal with partial harlequin pattern, partial flash pattern, and that flash pattern, broad flash pattern, I should say, is red. What color red? Okay, but wait, it can be only appreciated when it is put in context of size. And that's what I tell Raven all the time. It's like, okay, but how big is it? How big is it? And, you know, that's why I always will include some type of, you know, coin or pencil or something in a picture when it's necessary and possible. If I'm sending a picture from a field somewhere I'm mining and want to convey size, you have to. That is so important. So I started in the opposite direction because and I hope it's okay, Miss Gabby, of course, you know, great member of our rock community here, is the one that she, remember, all of you, her Christmas tree with the ornaments. Well, she sent pictures, and I'm only going to show this one, of 11 other incredible mineral specimens that she had that will, of course, make your jaw drop. But this is an opal that she has purchased that she wants drawn as well. Now, let me put this opal in context, because you know what? If I saw it by itself, I would think, oh, okay, that's probably a 3 to 4 carat. Maybe it's a on a big stone, maybe a 10 by 12 or something like that, or 16 by 12 for really big. All right, let me show you. This is the opal and its brothers and sisters. That is a hand. That is, look out at Broadfresh. That is the one she bought. Apparently, what she wrote, it sounds like look at, these are black opals. These are no doublets. These are solids, and they all came from the same piece of rough, because she writes that these are its brothers and sisters. And this one, which is, right, 35 carats. 35 carats. I mean, I'm not even going to speculate on value just to protect Miss Gabby, but I have an idea of value. That miner had to absolutely just, well, maybe be retired. Okay, let me show you. Next item, right behind my hand. Boom! Look at that. There is something that may be outdated in some circles, but I call them knick-knack holder. Here's a knick-knack holder. Of course, it's an ashtray. But, you know, some places, I grew up in a household where both my parents smoked, and they, you know, just that was commonplace to have an ashtray sitting around, or a box you opened up and it had cigarettes in it, and these kind of things. And of course, smoking to everyone was precedence over anything else. Over not smoking in restaurants and what. Kind of crazy days. But anyway, if you want something that the heat isn't going to burn, you're never going to burn the edge of your ashtray, or a really cool paper clip and knick-knack holder to have out on the counter. How about a spoon rest in the kitchen? Repurpose it if you choose. Look, felt on the bottom. Price on this. Oh, the weight. Look at the weight. 710 grams. There's 4. Here's the other thing. You need to know things just off the top of your head, like how many grams to a pound. Roughly 454. So you can see, what, pound and a half or so, a little over. Amazing. Look at that. A little bit of the rough natural exterior. Here's 2 qualities as we come along here. You can see this quality, and then as you blend over here, you actually will get into a little bit darker. And here we go. Here's the 2 kind of qualities right there. You see that little bit more olive green, or army olive green, as opposed to this green. A little bit difference in value, the way they're evaluated. All right. Heavy, beautiful piece. You could saw, you know what, wouldn't that be kind of neat? What if you took a saw and just sawed a bunch of, you know what, rings just after the first cut? You could do that, and then you would end up with perfect rings of, you know, that's the way I think. Repurposing, I'll go crazy. So next I'll have all kinds of rings, and then be selling it back to you a year from now. It'll be all kinds of rings. It's, well, I don't have time to do the rest of this project. How about this? $68. $68 on that. Grab that, $68. Okay, let's look at the next item. Item number 104, 4422. 104, 4422. What do we have? Now this is a little bit different. We're sticking with the jade theme. Here is a very cool business card holder. Now, here's the information on the back of this one if you don't have it. Speaking to Asif there, it looks like a couple things didn't get exported over, but that's quick enough to fix, because nobody knows the business better than the boss man himself. You good? Tell me when. Now, British Columbia nephrite is some of the most sought after form of what they call jade that there is. The imperial, what were called and considered the imperial jade mines, imperial jade mines of China, for all the past dynasties and whatnot, they used nephrite jade from deposits that were west into China. Well, one of the ways, and here's where knowledge and the ability to tell the difference between nephrite and jadeite can really separate out a dealer that either doesn't know what they're selling, or one that is trying to put one over on you. Because I was explaining this to someone the other day. Many of the carvings that you're handed, they'll tell you, oh, this is from the blah, blah dynasty, or this is, 400 years old, beautiful jadeite. No. You can, in your mind, you don't just bring it up and accuse them or say anything, because they maybe have been sold and told the same thing. But if you're able to tell, and they're trying to sell you that it's from the imperial jade mines, and it has been carved in China, and it is, 500 or 600 years old, and you look at it and you see that it is jadeite, let the bells ring in your head, other than the last time when you hit your head on the top of a mine shaft. That would be my case, because the imperial supply ran out what would be now about 250 years ago. And that is when they turned to the jadeite supplies of Burma, to the jadeite mines. What are the imperial jadeite mines now of Burma? That occurred again 250 years ago. So there was a definitive shift in where they got their carving and cutting materials, because remember, jade was the stone of the gods, and since they considered the emperors their god, deities as well, the two went hand in hand. Now, in this color, look at that. In this color, it is easy to tell the difference between nephrite and jadeite, but in other nephrites, unless you really know the material and there's a definitive difference in hardness, it can be very difficult to tell the difference. But that's where, if you deal in this material, or you know it, or work with it, that's where it's something you need to learn. You just need to work with it enough to be able to tell nephrite from jadeite. Now, in this case, like I said, easy to tell. Here's the other thing. Because of the difficulty getting the jadeite out of Burma to carve, because there's been embargoes on it at different times and whatnot, they have turned to the nephrites. The nephrites of British Columbia, who my friends actually have 3 of the major claims. I could tell you stories about that whole jade thing that they do not take part in. But that, Jade Rush show, whatever it's called, yeah, I could tell you some inside stories about that. But we won't go there. Just know that I'm well connected to this situation and to jade itself. So, yeah, they have 3 mining claims, and I won't discuss how that's arranged and how they lease it and just exactly how it works. But a lot of times they end up just as another fight against what miners have to go through to bring us all these beautiful things. Is in the wintertime, whatever they haven't used, that they've already gone through the effort of digging up, they rebury, because as heavy as those boulders are, which jade is very dense and heavy, they're still able to hijack them. Yes. So there is still claim jumping basically going on. Wow, what an effort to rebury the material. But I don't blame them. That's the easiest and best way to protect your investment that you spent hunting for and digging out. Some of the boulders, though, if you have a high quality nephrite boulder, it can be easily just the rough. The boulder can be a $250,000 boulder. She showed me a bangle, a regular bangle of a regular kind of jade width that you sold. They sold for over $25,000 in nephrite. So this material can get extremely valuable, and it is extremely desired and sought after. This is an old piece I've had, and I don't even think that they're making this product anymore. And if they were, I think the quality of the jade they're using is not like this, because this is an old piece. I mean, I'm talking about going about 5, 6, 7 years old. All right, price on this, $68. Only $68, same price as the other. $68. What an excellent opportunity. Now, you can tell, hopefully, that's still in one piece. That is how just dense and hardy this material is. Item 104-4722. 104-4722. Another, look at this, another jade item. A letter opener. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so look at it. It is a standing bear. You can tell, you know, the British Columbian kind of feel to their designs. A lot of the designs will have eagles or bears and whatnot because of where the claims are, the nephrite claims. They're in the middle of tribal lands, and they are also in the middle of very a lot of wildlife. All right, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That is gorgeous. And again, jade is extremely durable. It almost pretty much is amorphous. Almost, you know, technically it forms crystals, but most of the time the atomic structure, the way it bonds together, is just in a really, really, really dense format that allows it and causes it to be extremely rough and tough. Look at that color. Look at the richness in that green, in that body tone. Wow. All right, price on this guy, only one I have, and it is going to be, how quick can you run to the phone? Wow, look at that. Look at that quality. I mean, that looks like candy. $44. Only $44 on that one. Okay, now, so much to do. I am pulling out something, and it's going to take a, no, we'll do this first, actually. All right, we'll do this first, because then I've got something really, really cool. You have the turntable here. All right, I'm only, item number 104-4822. 104-4822. And this is one that I happen to have a quantity of 3. We're not even going to take these out at all, I decided, because we got other stuff to do. Look at these. Okay, wow. Can you believe it? This is ruby. Now, we'll just glance in each bag. Oddly enough, there is 10 carats to each bag and exactly 25 stones. And it was like automatically, I dropped them in each one, when it went to 10 carats, it was 25 stones. But I want to show you some of these pear shapes. I saw a little heart shape in one of them. Look at the colors. Now, I'm calling these Thai, but some may be of, they came out of that. And if you understand the geography, where Thailand, it sits on the border of Burma, you can see where some might get mixed. So I would say that these are a mix of origins with, let me move up against the white here for a moment. There, the teeth, there we go. And you can see that the colors are pretty decent, but what is the Thai ruby, what it's known for is a purple tint to it. A purple tint. So the more red ones really stand out. But it looks like a nice mix of cuts. Let's go in close on one of these for a moment. They have some inclusions, but I tell you what, compared to, these are compared to other rubies, these are actually quite clean and quite bright. I like the actual different mix of colors. Look at that red next to the purple one. So you got a broad swath. You know, one might be actually called, you know, could be called a sapphire. Other ones could be called pink sapphire. But in Asia, anything even remotely those colors called ruby. And the last one, and remember, same average weight. So if you see a big one in one, still you have the same average weight, 25 stones. And look at how red that one is. Wow. Now, when I tell you the price, this is what I may, if these all sell and I decide to, I may be able to offer a few others. $48. Now, let's do the math on this at several levels. $48 a parcel. Okay, 10 carats. That is less. Okay, let's do it exactly. That's $4.80 a carat. $4. Let's see, think about how long it would take you to cut one stone. Not only that, but think about sourcing the rough. How much would it cost to get a piece of rough of this material to cut one stone? If I took these out and we looked at them individually, you would find in each parcel, you know, one stone that would be worth the entire amount. This is where I have gotten some deals over time that, well, this is why you haven't seen this deal, because I just hoarded it. I have a more additional weight. And I was just, I don't know how, I'm just going to be a pig. I'm just going to tell you, I don't know how generous I want to be in offering these, any more of them at that price. All right, another way to look at it, there's 25 stones. How about this? Less than $2 a stone. I think that sounds even less, more cheap. I'm going to use the word cheap. Less expensive, okay, less expensive than doing the price per carat. $2 a stone? Really? That's what makes it, look at that, hard to imagine. Can you imagine paying $2 for that stone right there? Right. You know, that's why 3 parcels, one per client, please. One per client. I'd like at least 3 people to be able to get in on that. So I'm going to make a note to Kevin about that. So please honor that. Nobody try to get all 3. It's such a deal. But I'm saying if all 3 sell and there's any others of you out there that want them, I may present a few more at the same price. I'm just not sure if I should be that irresponsible to myself. Okay. Let me take a 1 minute break here and I'll be right back. Check this out. You know, if I'm parting with a specimen like this far along into the game, that it is a special specimen. For one thing, garnet. Again, to refresh those that aren't aware, I usually suggest to people when they start expanding their collections, to have a focus on your collection, and it can be really broad. I had 2 broad focuses when I collected. One was American, specimens that came from America, from North America mostly, and it turned out to be mostly the United States. The other collection that I focused on was the Garnet family, because it's my birthstone and there's 6 incredible families and there's a whole lot of mingling going on in those families, plus sub-members underneath, like grossular. So you have some members, sub-family members like Hessonite underneath it, Savorite, etc. Now, this is by far, in the Garnet family, one of my most favorite of the family members. Now, of course, overall, it would probably be the chrome garnet Ugrandites. But since that is so expensive, not that we haven't had it, I've showed it and have sold it, and most of the time it is the druzy crystals that form in between the little thin chromite gaps that are in the chromium ore. And that's where the chromium comes from to power up Ugrandites into the incredible, beautiful green gem that it is, but very, very, very rare and valuable. Just a calcium chromium garnet. Remember, the garnets break down into 2 groups. The pyrals, I love the name, the pyrospites, which have no calcium and are abbreviated for pyrope, almandine, and spessartine. The very cool thing that they have in common as a garnet family to someone that loves chemistry such as myself is the fact that the chemical formula of all 3 of those garnets, it's really easy. Ends in Al2Si3O12. 2 aluminums, 3 silicons, and 12 oxygens. The only thing that's different is the metal element at the front. Pyrope being a magnesium garnet, Almandine, known as the iron garnet, and how you separate them from others with a magnet. Very attracted to a magnet. And spessartine, as we all know, and you have heard, the manganese garnet, giving you the incredible Fanta orange gems in the spessartine family. So, no calcium. Pyrospite. The other group, the Ugrandites, which, again, are an abbreviated word, which you know I love. It gives information. Ugrandites consist of the Uvarovite family, for the U, for the GR, the grossular family, and for the AN, the Androdite family of garnets. These have no calcium. So the difference in the groups mostly is one group has no calcium. The top group we talked about has no calcium, the pyrospites, and the Ugrandites all have calcium. All have calcium. Uvarovite, calcium chromium. Grossular, calcium aluminum, or just basically calcium because you have the same ending, the Al2Si3O12. And in the Androdite family, it's the calcium iron garnet. Important to remember that, because how important is it? Because it has that iron component to its chemistry, it can be separated from the other green garnets, such as the Uvarovite, which is a calcium chromium, and grossular, calcium. They're non-magnetic. Non-magnetic. Androdite is magnetic. Should be magnetic. If it isn't, and I haven't tested this, and I actually meant to, let's see if this is attracted to a magnet. This, I am saying, is an Androdite. Is this going to call me out as a fibber? This is the big test right here as we come in with a neodymium magnet and see if it is drawn to it. Let's see. Oh, look at that. It is. We definitely, look at that. We have a drag factor and let's see if we have a pickup factor. It's a heavy piece, but it is certainly drag factor. You know how it's actually dragging across. So one way you can tell, if you want to do a really sensitive test, just use the top of a little gem tube or anything that floats. Put it on water. Put the gem tube on water. Or you can use something bigger. That removes all the drag. Float it on water, then put the magnet against it. And if it pulls around the water, then you have an even more sensitive test. All right, I just proved there's iron in there, so guess what? I wasn't a fibber. All right, look at this. Let's go in close. Let me show you what we have here. Now, here is the really cool thing. If you have not learned the full story of the garnets in Madagascar, they were discovered in 2009 in an intertidal zone. Only 2009. Imagine millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of extremely valuable and rare garnets only discovered in 2009. Oh, I would have liked to have been there. But guess what? Amongst the mangroves, and I showed pictures. They could only mine in between the tides, and it would fill up their 5 to 20 foot deep holes every time. They'd have to dig back out with the time they had in between the tides to get back down to the layer. So many of the garnets, different garnets, they hurried quickly to get them out, and you'll find created damage. They created damage. And it's one thing that hurt many beautiful, beautiful specimens. But what were they to do? Drown down there in the hole? I'm sure many did. So this discovery in the tidal flats, they had to rewrite the geology of the area because the garnets helped them understand exactly what was going on, including, guess what? Stilbite. Stilbite is found around in this deposit. So that told them also as well. So this is the famous, it's called Abanja and then Diana intertidal deposit, which there is no other demantoid deposit garnet. So we just say Madagascan garnet. Everyone should know where it's from. The matrix is limestone that has metasomatized. Now that's another big word, metasomatized. And what that means is metamorphosed from limestone. It is metasomatized into garnet, microscopic garnets. Then later, an additional deposition came and deposited a higher grade of garnet, let's say, and that's where you get your beautiful androdites. So that limestone that was so important. Now remember, this is a calcium garnet, and why we went through that at the beginning of our little educational discourse here on the two garnet families, because to have an androdite garnet, you need to have calcium. And where did it get the calcium? From the limestone deposit. And it is also where a subduction zone is causing two areas to meet. And with the salt water adding to the mix is giving us a rare combination of geology that has allowed these garnets to form. Now, let's give you a close spin so I can show you this matrix. This matrix in here, look at how it sparkles. That is a garnet matrix. Now that is very, very high content of garnet. I'm going to show you a different form of that momentarily. Now these garnets will also be a color shift. I have used different lighting and they'll go to a much brighter, better green. Look at this. This is nothing but garnets everywhere. Some crystallized and some microcrystallized. And some crystallized and covered with crystallized garnet. This piece, only $88. Extremely collectible. Extremely collectible. Yeah, no more. Mining is over. Look at that. Mining is over in that area. I knew it lasted way longer than I thought. I mean, maybe the occasional piece here and there, but that would be it. Next item, let me show you. This is item, oh, price, yeah, I gave you the price. Did I give you the price on this? It's an incredible value, $88. Okay, item 1036021. 1036021. Look at this. Now, boom. Here we go. Now, here again, Madagascar, demantoid. Rare crystals, rare crystals. The neat thing about this, look at it, Nile Mound. This is Morpho sandstone. Look at this. Now, you can see the bright shininess to it. And then look at this. You have also, look, I'm not even showing you the garnets. You also have dendrites. Dendrites. That's kind of neat forming, which is usually a pyrolusite, a type of manganese oxide, creating that. Look at these. Look at those forming on there. Look at the two colors. Now, I actually put a black light to this piece, and it just, the matrix glowed. It just glowed, was really fluorescent. Look at these different kind of formations in the material. That's kind of pretty. And as we look at those garnets up close, wow, those are gorgeous. Those are gorgeous. Big size. Big size to them. Some more out there. I love that. Okay, we'll put that right back there. Price on this one, I love it because you know what? We are also, well, I don't know how far we'll get. I don't know if we'll get to some of the sale price items, but you know what? This is going to be one I'm going to help out. Let's discount this. Let's discount this and have just a new year opportunity. This is the first show for me for this year. Price on this, and I'm sure, and hopefully you are happy to see me back. $188. $188 on that. Go look at some pricing. This stuff has gone crazy. Now, I have something really exciting in the Demantoid Garnet. Item 1043922. 1043922. All right, boom. Let me show you first these two side by side. If you look at these two side by side, let me show you one thing that's important. They all almost, almost look like a puzzle, right? Okay, if we go just a little closer there, Mr. Latif, let me show the difference in the color. Look at this. And Latif knows, if anybody should know garnets, if you say, well, which is the more expensive color range? Well, it is this green. And mostly when we say that, it is to anybody's eye, even if you don't know gems and minerals for value, they're going to pick this color green just because it appeals to more people than this color, irregardless of whether, even if this one was more valuable for whatever reason, this would be their favorite green. Now, let me tell you, use a different lighting source, and this will absolutely change a different color as well. Kind of fun to see that, so keep that in mind when you get that at a fraction. Now, this is not going to be as inexpensive as that one. Look at this. We're going to take a world tour on this specimen. Let's go ahead and show them the garnets. That is what the money is. And what is so unique about these garnets is this right here. This flattened, what they call habit of garnet, the way they form. It is unique to this area. You can see the outside, how it forms into the its regular crystal system, except then they're flattened on that axis. That, yeah, here's another one. Look at this. Look at this. For this type of garnet in that locality, look at that, how flat they go. That is not normal. Normally, let's see, that's even, see how flat that one is. Well, let's see. We've seen all, there might be a regular one on here we can find. We've seen what they normally look like. Yeah, if that one was out, it's all dimensionally. But look at all the colors. Look at this. And where we going? Oh, see what I mean? Look how flattened that is. But you know what? That's what makes it special. And it is known by the geologists for that reason, and it's found in that form nowhere else. Look at these colors. And then look at the quartz crystals around these also. And those of you that are clever enough can spot some stillbites. Stillbites, which you don't normally think are coming from there. Boy, I think that Latif is on one. Stillbites, remember they end in an arrowhead type formation. That one may very well be one right there. That, when the geologists were studying this deposit and they found stillbites on these specimens, they thought that gave them a lot of information as to how could zeolites form there as well. And now, let me show you also, look at this crystal right there. That is a stillbite. You can see how it kind of stands out. It is not a six-sided crystal. It terminates in a different way. It is more of a whitish color. Then also there's one crossing back here. Now let me show you something real unique. Besides, you know, this is a specimen I started spending after I crossed the first hour, and I hadn't inventoried it yet. I was just studying it. It's like, wow, Shawn, okay, you need to pick up the pace. That's probably what Austin is saying now about me showing these. But I already told him before I started, I said, this is going to take a moment because this is a special piece. So the more I kept discovering, I kept running into the closet. Now, for those of you not familiar with what that term means, okay, it means different things to different people. For me, it's when I test the fluorescence. For everybody, this is how you do it. You go into a dark place, at least wait a minute for your eyes to adjust, and then short wave it, long wave it, look at the difference in colors, and then run back out, find what you want to find again, then run back in. It's a whole process. Look at the different kinds of colors. Look at it. Some of these are actually facet grade quality. Now, I want to show you in this overhang, right in here, there is a crystal. Let me see if here we go. There is a crystal, and I discovered it. All right, let me point it out. It is actually a scepter, a small scepter crystal. That's where the end of the crystal is bigger than the stalk of it. It's right there. The end of the scepter crystal, you can see it's kind of cloudy where the rest of the stalk is. Look at that. There you go. You can see the stalk right below it down there. And it's perfectly clear. Does everybody see that? Now, hold on. Let me try something, because this is how and why specimens are worth the money they are for learning and entertainment purposes. Because let me just try one thing and see if it can focus in on that one spot. Oh, I am going to be able to. There we go, a little bit more. Where'd it go? There is, hold on. Wow, look at that. Oh, I'm also saying, oh, geez, no. Hold on, I'll find it. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I did have it. Hold on, okay. Look at that, look at that. Okay, where is the one with the stalk? Okay, wait. Look at how well, this is working for this. Hold on, let me see it in real life where it is. Okay, there it is underneath the big one. I got it. I see it. It's right. Because I can't get this down closer, I can't exactly focus on the spot. Let me take this away. And oh, that's because I was nowhere near it. There it is. Okay, I see it. You see it now? All right, everybody. Look what we are willing to do for all of our clients. There it is right there to the left. There it is. Okay, so everybody see that crystal with the little white tip? And there you go. Oh, yeah. There's the face. Look at that angle, right? You see it, Latif? Yeah. You see, everybody see the angle, that triangle on the left-hand side? That's what we're looking at. That is the top of the crystal, and you can see the shaft below it is actually perfectly clear. And now, I make a point, because I make a point about that, because I discovered that particular crystal having that formation on it, because when I put the fluorescent light on it, just the top, just that little white top glowed. I mean, beautiful glow. I'm thinking it was a chalcedony growth on top, and it might have had, I measured, yeah, see, you can see it really easily right there now. And just the top of that. And so there are other odd specimens in here that did that. There's green garnet crystals. There's Andronite garnet crystals throughout this piece. Beautiful different colors, different shapes. Now, did you see the other things? Calcite and stilbite. I did show you a couple of the stilbites and what to look for. So now, here is what they call the metasomatized limestone, which basically is all garnet. This is microscopic garnet through here, kind of mixed in. Now, remember, androdite also has in its formula, androdite garnet also has an iron component. And when I was looking, where does iron come from? I started seeing these little oxidized areas. And what I'm thinking is either hematite, chalcopyrite, something that had iron in it and oxidized out. That would supply the iron needed for the androdite as well. This specimen has so much to learn and study on it, and is phenomenal. It is a phenomenal size as well. Absolutely something to be proud of, and the center of a showcase. I was seeing if it stood up in any way on its own, but just like that. So at least it has one angle, but in a stand it would probably do it justice. Beautiful piece, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece from a locality that is nothing but rarer and rarer and rarer to find anything. And even now in the markets, whether you look in the internet or whatnot, oh, the prices are crazy. And watch out, they'll glue specimens in, they'll put them together from pieces. They do tricky things, trust me. Price on this is an amazing discount opportunity at only $388. $388 on that. That's the other one. All right. All right. Now, I have put off, this next piece is going to take a moment to, again, talk about. Item 1044222. By such popular demand and request and everything else, look what I am bringing you. I kid you not. If you know what this is already, then hats off to you. 1044222. Hats off to you. But you almost should know. You almost should know. It is found nowhere else but this one locality. One locality. And it is huge money. Huge money now in the marketplace. Everybody finally has learned to pronounce it right, I hope, and that's with a hard G. It is no longer sugilite. Poor Kenichi Sugi in 1945, when he discovered it, little did he know that his name would be forever mispronounced after that. And the mineral named after him, he got the wrong credit for. Because there probably was some Skid Row person that his name was actually Suji, soft G, and all this time has been getting credit for finding one of the most amazing, amazing minerals out there. And after he died, that's when, and after, you know what? I'm going to give myself some credit because I've been in public speaking, doing this for like 13 years, 14 years, long time. And ever since the beginning, I have been drumming on about the correct pronunciation of sugilite. Well, it was only recently that I noticed some of the primary mineral data sites actually now under sugilite have put a little addendum saying that it is one of the most mispronounced gemstone on the planet and that ever was. And I don't know. They didn't used to write that. They only wrote that after years me saying what I have. So I think from my bully pulpit that that maybe I made a difference. I don't know. But anyway, all I did was research. And it was the research that led me to the correct pronunciation of sugilite. And there I have it. Now, the sugilite Kenichi found, does he need information? Okay, the sugilite that Kenichi found in 1945 was just ugly. There was nothing attractive about it whatsoever. It's a, it has potassium, sodium, iron, lithium silicate. All right. And now, it was the professor of chemistry. Well, a lot of people were involved. So, okay, back up here a minute. In Japan, in this little prefecture, they discover it. No big deal. No one's excited about it. Along comes this incredible deposit in the manganese fields of the Kalahari Desert. The Wessel's mine in particular, and they come across this purple material. And wow, then it put Kenichi Sugi on the map. And everybody wanted to know about it. Everybody wanted to know. It was like a new discovery. Now, the neat thing is, and Latif just showed you, let's go back in. The purple, yes, that's sugilite. This color purple, they call that a jelly purple. Very valuable color purple. There's several things to look at on here. Several things. And it's only someone like me, part eccentric, part over passionate rockhound, that's being kind, can tell you. The blue, guess what? The blue is actually rarer in many ways and more valuable than the sugilite. The blue is richterite. Now, I've offered and sold you richterite before. Only a couple pieces, but it's never been a word we haven't mentioned. Richterite is a sodium-calcium amphibole. Now, it was, an incredible discovery, and it forms alongside and often with the sugilite. Both have similar hardnesses, and it was named in honor by Berthaupt. And you've heard of Berthaupt. He's of Berthauptite fame, which is an ore and a very famous mineralogist himself. There's also potentially bustamite, which is a calcium manganese that was named after a Mexican general. There's definitely, let me show you this, pectolite. Now, let me show you the pectolite in this. So, okay, blue richterite, blue, good. But wait, before we go anywhere, the red. I should see if anybody could figure out what the red is. In most all, whether it's quartz or a specimen, if you see red underneath, let's say, vanadinite, we often will call it limonite. We often call it rust. It was red, the color of rust. That's how you remember. The reality of it, that's hematite. Iron oxide, rust, hematite. So you have hematite often found with it. In this case, wow, that's beautiful. Now, it takes magnification, but look at, see these little white spots? Look at these little white spots. Let's turn this around. I saved this area. Under even closer magnification, when you look at these little white areas, there we go. There's one right there. It's crystal. It looks like a crystal, doesn't it? Oh, let's see. Now maybe we can make this work. Here we go. Here we go. Now you can see a crystalline pattern. There we go. You can actually see the crystals flaring from the center there. Pectolite. Pectolite. Another mineral associated, look at that. Definitely. Look at those crystals coming up and out of that. How cool is that? How cool is that? Pectolite is a sodium calcium silicate. Now, the black are going to be manganese oxides, like pyroluscites mixed in there. Now, let me show you. Let me show you what I found. This I got the best I can figure out in an estate. So when I tried to figure what something like this cost, the only thing I had, it was this to go by. You know what that means? When you see that, if you've traveled enough, you might know your other world symbols. What's the symbol for the US dollar? Well, first, USD is what is used as the abbreviation. All money and countries with their money have a symbol and then have also their abbreviation. And in this case, we know the dollar sign is, it looks like an S with 2 slashes through it, right? All right. The written code, what they call the code for our dollar, is USD. The code, so you know what type of money it is written before the amount. So if you have a piece that has an R and has come from South Africa, their name of their money is the Rand, and the symbol is an R. And right here, this is what I saw on it. This was on it, R20,000. So, you know, I'm thinking, well, how many are to a dollar? I looked it up. Currently, the value, it's 0.065. Multiply that, or by the 20,000, and what did I get? I got over $1,000 in US currency. So I don't know, retail, wholesale, I don't know how that was being priced, but that was the closest link I had to some type of reference as to what I paid. Look at this. It's polished all the way around. Someone had to take a grind, didn't they? Yeah. See, Latif knows. He's cut stones. Had waste a lot of material to get it to this point and then polish it all the way down. Look at the value of this. If you take it, if you wanted to, you could, and to create a flat spot, I'm sure this sits somewhere anyway on its own. There you go. But if you're a cutter, and so if you want to decide that's the bottom, you could take off a whole bunch of slices off the bottom and cut stones from it and still have a beautiful display specimen. And look at it, there's some beautiful material down there. There is so many ways to derive value out of this piece. Besides the beauty of what it is, so many of you have wanted some sugilite. I don't even know what to say, except that I have an opportunity, mind-blowing, for this piece. When it's polished all the way around, it like this, it is only $348. $348. It should be 3 times that. Pectolite, hematite. So, okay, so I've told you what everything is. I have pectolite and hematite on the tag for information for you. Yeah, it's actually over $1,300 is in the conversion. Over $1,300. So let's say a lot of places will do, okay, I'll sell it to you for half the price listed. And that's many times the way you'll find at shows and whatnot. You'll say, okay, you prove that you're a wholesaler or you know them, and they'll say, okay, your cost is half the tag listed in American dollars. So you can, they'll tell you how to calculate it or figure it, or they'll figure it for you. Again, 20,000 Rand translates to 1,300 US dollars. If you take half of that, that is $650 for a wholesale cost. And, half of a half is $325. I mean, how low do you want to go? How inexpensive could it be? This is sugilite. Go try to find some at a value like that. And by the way, it is more desirable to have the richterite in it, the hematite, the other colors. Much more attractive to me. Now, I've got something real exciting. I mean, since I missed a show on all of you, I had to make up for it. I had to make up for it. So I'm working hard on doing that. Item number 1044022. 1044022. Look at this. Look at this. Now, oh, did I see some iridescence? Okay, I flashed one of these in front of you months and months and months ago. I was bragging. Remember, I was bragging about the iridescent fluorite I had from Ohio, and I showed you my specimen? Well, I decided that I was going to share our discovery. Both Raven and I were born in Ohio. I was born in Dayton. She was born and lived most all of her life in Columbus, Ohio. And so to have something like this from Ohio, this is a rare treasure. They are proud of their iridescent fluorites and the other fluorites. You can have so many fluorites from Elm Wood Mine in Tennessee. Oh, there it is. There it is. Ah, you found it. Okay. I didn't know whether I could put iridescent fluorite on this one, and bingo. Bingo, we can. Let's go back, right back here. There we go. There we go. Look at that angle. I see it all over. Okay, no wonder. No wonder. I just didn't have this at the proper, I had it going the wrong, whoa. Look it's everywhere. Wait till you see the next one. I could not find it. It was supposed to be iridescent and I never found it. Well, you know why? Because I had it turned upside down. I was just looking at it from the wrong direction. Whoa, look at these. Okay. Also, the unusual thing about some of these fluorites is they grew to where the centers dip. And I kind of, look at that. Lateef, look at that. I don't know. I'm embarrassed to say how long looking for the fluorescence in this last night and in different lights, and I never saw it. And now it's everywhere. It's actually really pretty. Look at that. It looks like those garnets, those iridescent garnets that we had. So it started with that little spot here, and then pretty much they all are. So let's back out and show you the specimen. This is why I got it wrong. Because see this, it's been sawn flat. So I thought that that was the bottom, and I looked at it like this. Yes, so here's what happens. The iridescence is created by microscopic layer of hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons, to put it easily, are, let's see, your tailpipe releases hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons can be a byproduct of the use of petroleum. If you drop a drop of oil on top of water, the water slick, you get that sheen on top of the water. Because oil is so much lighter, it only takes a fraction of oil to spread across a massive area, because it can spread micro thin. Okay, think about it. Now I think you might be understanding how this can work. Think about how thin of a layer that oil is that gives you that beautiful iridescent sheen on top of it. All right, it takes just hardly any thickness of that at all. Same thing is going on here. Same thing is going on here. A microscopic layer of hydrocarbons, which is, you know, like I said, can be many different kind of forms. But let's just think of it as a petroleum product, such as a drop of oil on water. Because the way it was introduced into this pocket might have been as a gas, and it settled on whichever direction the crystals were facing up. Is probably exactly what happened. Therefore, holding it this way, you're not going to see it. This way, on the tops of all the facets that are looking this way, look at that. I can just see it everywhere now. And really, Latif, it's worth you laughing at me, because actually, I learned something. I learned something. Look at it. I see it just. So it depends on, look at that one. Look at that. Look at it. It's like little lights twinkling on and off through here. Oh, look at the purples. Oh, wow. Look at, I mean, that's what's so much fun is just the discovery like that. And discovering that together with my friends here. And, you know, Dave missed out, because Latif definitely was the one that put us in on finding that. And I spent, really, it was probably an hour. And I gave up. And that's why it's not in the description. You'll see the next specimen I have iridescent in the description. Now, it can go in the description, iridescent. Price on this. This is one rare. Oh, here's the other thing. Look at this. Look at this. Here's the other thing. It came, look how old this label is. You know that's hand typed. Okay, here. I did some research about the Sandusky mines. Here we go. And the Bellevue quarry, because the next label has the quarry these came from. The Bellevue quarry, it used to, it was the Bellevue quarry first. They co-owned it with the France Stone Company. Then the France Stone Company bought out Bellevue, listen to this, solely in the 1940s. So you are looking at a specimen that potentially was collected 80 years ago. It was open to collectors, but completely closed by the 1980s. And it was extremely difficult to extract these, because they'd be in a pocket high up on, you can see how they did it. They used probably tile saws to cut these out of a wall way up in the quarry wall. And that would be how they do it, and why, you know, we're lucky that the ones that didn't, you know, break are available that are. So this piece, this very cool collectible piece, I'm going to offer for only $88 on that. Only $88 on that one. And that label will come with it. And is a truly phenomenal and rare piece, because I did some additional research, and there are no specimens that are available that I could find from under the Bellevue Quarry or the French Stone Company. So this particular obscure quarry, that's it. That's it. So if you say, okay, well, you can't compare apples with apples if they have one, but it's from a different quarry. Show me what you paid or what it would cost to get one from this exact quarry where you can't find any from. That makes a difference. Now, let me show you. I'm going to show you. 104-4122. 104-4122. Check this out. Now, this is one that I put iridescence on. Let me show you. This is cool because of all the pockets. And let me just take you into this pocket. Yeah, this one is eye-popping. Yeah, you don't have to hunt this one up. Look at the purple. What is that? I almost thought it was an amethyst crystal. Yeah, look at that purple crystal back in there. There is two of them, exactly. There's two of them. I wasn't sure what it is or whether it was a big fluorite. It's almost like look at that. Look at that iridescence in this piece. Let's turn it. Now I know to turn them around. Look at those colors. Look at how big some of the crystals are. That's phenomenal. That's a phenomenal specimen in that pocket. Now, as we come along up here, look at the beautiful bronze color of the fluorite itself. And look at how it grew and filled every void. And look at this one. Here's another pocket of nothing but iridescent fluorites. Look at that one. Wow. Hydrocarbons on there. So basically also what you don't want to do is go scrubbing the surfaces real hard. You don't want to clean these or use anything like, oh, let me get rid of the oils. No, you don't want to go doing that. Don't want to go doing that. And now I thought this area may not have any, but I think now it's probably just not been, there we go. There's some more. Turn the right direction. Oh, look at that. Yep. Look at that. I thought this top part didn't have any. No, oh, here might be a clue. Look at the purple. See, I'm wondering if that's quartz, and then, I don't know. Or is it, it could be, of course, purple fluorite, which is very common, but not so in Ohio. Look at that. Look at those colors. This was one of the most iridescent ones, and there's another spot of purple there. A real treasure, this one, a real treasure. All right, so let's show it what it looks like just in general. There it is. You can see the size of it. You can see how, look at that pocket. Good grief. Man, what are those? We'll leave it to somebody, whoever gets it, for you to be able to have the fun of looking at it closer. It could be just some large purple fluorites back in there, but I can tell you what, that would be quite rare in itself to be like that. Price on this one is a phenomenal bargain. Oh, here, look at this. Look at this. This is how I know. Look at the label that I found with it. That's how I know. The Bellevue Quarry. Look it, there we go. That's how I know that other specimen didn't say the quarry's name, but it was exactly identical type material. Price on this piece is only $118. $118, rare locality. Very rare locality. And again, closed over, 50 years ago. It's like, you see when it's like, go find another one. Go find another one because there's not another one. You're just not going to find it. All right, let me have a minute break and we'll be right back. One of the richest colors in golden beryl ever that I have seen. And these are natural color. Natural color. Now, I have a little asterisk here that as a warning, a gem warning to you, that if you come across golden barrels in this color range and they say they're from any of the stands, Pakistan, Tajikistan is what they've been using lately, because no one really goes to Tajikistan and they get away with it, saying it's a new pegmatite deposit. They're irradiated, okay? They're irradiated. There's no golden barrel coming from any of that region in this color range. This is natural color. And you can see, well done on giving all the information there. I was just going to say, try to read that word. So instead, it's up there on the graphics for you to say it out loud at home and hear yourself and then laugh at yourself instead of all of you laughing at the way I would speak it. Now, natural color. I've actually had some golden barrel crystals of that color. So, you know, I know the material. I know it can be that color. Here's the deal. Ready for this? Price for the two of these. They're 0.82 carat. How would you like these for only $21 for the two? $21. I know, that's like $25 a carat or so. Ridiculously inexpensive in that kind of color range. And they are also a matched pair. And how beautiful to put these alongside if you had a golden barrel crystal from, let's say, a place like the Crabtree Mine. I'm speaking out there to the lucky owner of the new golden barrel specimen from the Crabtree. Yeah, there you go, $21. Take advantage of them. I don't have another pair even close to it or anything like that. I do have this. Item number 103-6821. 103-6821. Now, we won't take these out. I'm just going to leave them in there. 2 more golden barrels. 30 points total weight, match pair, from the same place. Beautiful goods. Beautiful, beautiful goods. And I mean, when I think about, again, how long it would take me to cut these. Can't be 25 a carat. That would be just too ridiculous. But how about this? $40 a carat. Make it $12 for the pair. $12! So if you needed a golden barrel in that color range, $6 a stone, it's just simply got to be worth that. And yeah, who wouldn't take advantage, even if you didn't need a stone, like me? I just bought them because they were such a deal. I wanted something that color, and if I ever needed it. Now, I bought so many stones for projects of different colors. That's why I'm kind of turning loose of the project stones. I won't have all the time. But I am offering up the ones that I know all of you should be getting, not only just for your collection in the 50-tube set, which I just love. All I love to do was to fill up those tubes and just look at the gemstones at the, at the end of the day or any time of day to see them. And I still have trays of gemstones that I just love. And you know what? When I need a stone to do a job or a project, to be able to walk to my trays of gemstones and have the one that fits that I need and the matching color, like let's say a particular square sapphire that goes in a channel set piece, it is a real satisfying feeling to have the piece that you need. Now, this next item, 103-0721. 103-0721. I kind of got to wonder, because I thought this would be the first thing that you guys would want. Look at this, rough diamond crystals. Rough diamond crystals. This is the last time I'm offering these because before they go back into my collection. Look at the perfect example of a cubic crystal form that we know they form in, right? And then here is, well, whether you want to call it a peach, GIA might grade it a fancy orange peach. No, I mean, whatever color. But if you want the hardness of 10, if you want to complete your Mohs scale of hardness in the real thing, including diamond, here's your number 10. Here's your gift to the rockhound that doesn't have a rough diamond, which many of them don't. Here is your stone that allows you to check the hardness of corundum correctly. You have to have something harder than the object to scratch it. What's harder, unless you carry around a moissanite that you may want to break, or you have silicon carbide, but that's only a little bit harder. Get a diamond. Get a diamond. You know what? I've asked this before, and I am tempted to make it a trivia question. I'm going to throw the question out, then I'll think about what I'm going to do. The scale of hardness of the Mohs scale of hardness from 1 to 10 isn't a true scale. It is a kind of a, well, it's a scale that doesn't actually reflect just how hard the next number up is. There's a whole list of all of them, but I'm just going to give you an example of the hardness from the number 9 to the number 10. It's only one number harder, right? You say, oh, well, that's just a 10. It's one number harder. That's all it is. It's 1 times harder. No. The reality of the situation is, and why a diamond can still cut, and why I have to facet with nothing but diamond products and get a quick return. 4 times harder. Diamond in reality is actually 4 times harder than ruby and sapphire, corundum. And how then does a diamond cut another diamond? Well, for one thing, like hardnesses will scratch each other. But if you try to cut another stone with the same stone, whether it be diamond or anything else, especially diamond, it would take you so long. And it used to when they would saw them. And that's why they take a chance and actually cleave them and split these big crystals. Because if they actually took a diamond saw back in the old day, it literally took weeks to cut through, if not longer, to cut through a stone. That's why they would take the, brave it up, figure out the 3 perfect cleavage planes, and whap, take the lucky whack. And then if the guy cutter blew it, he got the unlucky whack himself right on the stump. So here's the reason why. The reason why it works is because when you smash up diamond, industrial grade diamond, a particular crystalline face of a diamond crystal will be ever so slightly harder than the rest of the diamond crystal faces. In other words, due to the arrangement of the carbon atoms and the diamond on that particular crystalline face. Now remember, in crystallography, every face is named and numbered, and they have all these different little things that is really, really hard to decipher. I know I wanted to be a crystallographer at one point, but even for me, that got a little technical. So, but there's one face that's a little bit harder. So how do you get around that? How do you figure out which face? You just smash the diamonds all up. And then you sinter them, you push them, you smack them down into metal. You bond them, all these other words they use. And by sheer percentage alone, a certain percentage of those diamonds, depending on what grit you use, will be turned on that particular, let's see, there's 6 sides to a cubic face. So 1 in 6 of those diamonds will have that face turned in the proper direction for it to be harder. Not the same hardness, harder than the other crystalline faces, and hence improves the speed and ability to cut the diamond. So there you go. There you have it. Now, All you have to do, smash that diamond up in the fineness that you want and go press it into a lead. And this is how they do it. Press it into a lead plate. And that's how I can charge a plate. I'll take diamond compound. You take a the lead alloyed plate, and the diamonds will self-bond themselves into it when you're doing it that way. So many other ways to tell you about. Copper, you can use that. Okay. So now you know. Price on these guys, guess what? Okay, last chance opportunity. If you don't want this price, I am keeping them because I cannot replace them. These kind of rough crystals even have gone up. You know what? They're going to be getting harder and harder to find because of all these industrial man-made grown diamonds. Who wants that? Let's get the real thing going. How about here? Last opportunity, $38. $38 for the three. $38 for the three. And all that education about diamond cutting. Now go out and cut some diamonds. Item number 1037221. 1037221. Now, this was a shocker that I still have this jewel. I was quite surprised because this is a really, really rare stone. Look at that. Look at that. Now, we'll remove the black in a moment, but yeah. Yeah, 1037221. Oh, perfect. That's it. This was mined in the 70s. This is from the very famous Chivor mine, the Emerald Mine in Colombia. One of the other unusual minerals that they have found alongside emeralds is euclase. And using the dark background, you can actually see the ever so slight blue color tone to that. Now we're going to take away the black and let's see if we can see it, but the black enhances it because that is one of the colors that they have. Clear is the more common, but they do go into a shade of blue. Now, euclase, it is very similar formula. It's a beryllium aluminum silicate, just like beryl. Remember, they're mining emerald. What is emerald? Emerald is a type of beryl. So it is just the arrangement and number of atoms that makes and separates the difference between the two. Now, it is actually formed from the decomposition of beryl. You know, just like uranium-238 eventually, after going through more than 100 isotopes of decay, becomes lead. Well, chemically, you have breakdowns of gemstones that alter into other stones, and this is one of those cases. It is formed from the decomposition of beryl, which of course it's hanging out with all those emeralds around there. So it was named for the Greek word meaning easily fractured. Now don't take that wrong. For having perfect cleavage. We just discussed cleavage, talking about how they split diamonds along those perfect cleavage lines. So it does only make it harder to cut, but once it's cut correctly, you don't have any problem with it. Now, this is an amazing gem. This particular stone, I know, actually can go back on the history of it and have a strong idea. It was actually the last place it ended up was in Helen, Georgia, actually, at an old time jewelry dealer that worked that entire area. Odd thing is, I used to live in Helen, Georgia, and I knew this person's daughter really well. And so paths crossed and whatnot. I wound up with this beauty, and I'm offering at a price I am not going to budge from. It is $488. That is a price on that stone of extremely good opportunity. It is large, and it is from Colombia. It is from the Chivor mine. And pastel is the color. So if you're wondering what the pastel is, that's the color, because it is. See the green in that direction? It is a little bit Dichroic, meaning it changes color with the direction that you turn it. Look at the cutting. See the cutting? It is native cutting, meaning it is cut per the rough demands. In other words, they cut for weight. So it might be a little off center. You have plenty of weight there to recut it even if you want. But at 608, if you want to keep it over a 6 carater, I'd leave it alone. With the deep step cutting like they do, it actually creates quite a brilliant stone. Price $488. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Okay, I've got something fun to show you with, we are clocking down, running down on time, but we got a couple items we're going to sneak in here. Not sure if I want to show you this one or maybe show you, you know what, I'll give Kevin a break. I don't think I'll show him the heavy serpentine piece, which is a gorgeous item. But never mind. You know, let me show you item 879919. 879919. Look at this one. Again, this is one where you can see, would have had to cut it out of the wall. Very difficult sometimes in mining, and to extract pieces without breaking them. I mean, to go after this specimen, you don't want to spend, the whole day and bring down a wall to do it. So they try to make it easier on themselves. This is amazing. Look at that pink apatite in its natural setting right there. There's a couple additional ones. If you want to find others, it is highly orange fluorescence. Just put a ultraviolet light on it and they'll pop up. I think there's some more tucked around there. There's some more there. Oh, there's some probably little ones tucked in over there. This would be, Actually, there is something else of interest there. This is one you need to study on and have a little fun with because, that's interesting there. Feldspar as well. All right. Oh, look at that angle. Wow. Nice. Ooh, nice crystalline faces. Look at that. Better not be something really cool. I don't want to sell really cool stuff. No, I thought it looked like a okay, help my COVID brain out. Like a scepter. It looked a little bit like a scepter quartz with the. Okay, maybe not, Shawn. Just forget that. All right, price on this, you guys. How about this? All right, why not? Why not? Let's just see. Let's just see how somebody wants something wonderful for $21. $21. For $21, I tell you what, I'd take this specimen. Oh, there's more on the back. And I'd cut it to pieces, looking for something inside. I don't know. I'm getting loony here. Whoa, wow, all this other stuff. Okay, a couple minutes here. 2 pieces chlorine quartz. Okay, all right. Oh, what? Oh, there's a oldie diamond. Big aqua crystal. Okay. Interesting. Let's take a look at this next one. It is, oh boy, item number 1035821. 1035821. Now, remember I had showed you epidote before, and we studied some epidote, and wow, those of you that bought those epidote flats, well done, because the great value. Epidote is gorgeous. This is a really unusual one from Italy. And when I got doing research, I didn't realize that in the valleys in Italy, there's a lot of beautiful epidote that's been discovered. And can we go any closer on there? There we go. What is that? Oh, look at that. Do I have it? No. So I have this quartz as a quartz crystal tucked right in there. Isn't that neat? That is very cool just to find something like that. All right. So if you collect things from different origins, this is a great one, especially with the label, so you know right where it came from. And price on this, you know what? I said I was going to do some sale prices, kind of ran out of time. Raymond's going to make me still do a sales show. So we still have that coming up here at some point. But there's lots of new goodies and a lot still in the pipeline that I already know I want to show you. So we'll do some individual ones along the way and make them really stand out. Like this one, it was, you know what, it was in the 30, well, it was obviously festive, it was $34. Now, you know what, $24, $24. I shouldn't do it because I love Epidote and I don't have that location once I sell that one. Someone else will have it. So highly recommend it for you to do that, especially at that kind of value. Oh, yes, this next specimen. This is one for the last 2 times I've been here. I have wanted to show this. This is item number 1040621. Now, look at this. Now, the neat thing about this is it doesn't have the other side. This is sugar quartz, and maybe you'll see it better if we put this behind it. Now, this is beautiful sugar quartz. The funny thing, in a way, let's go in real close on this sugar quartz, is the way it crystallizes. You have to look at it really close to even figure out that if it's in the look at this, in the hexagonal crystal formation, like that crystal, you have to find an individual one. If you look this at a whole, it's like looking at a sugar bowl. You know that in a sugar bowl, everything is a crystal that you're looking at, but you really can't define an individual crystal. This is stunning, and for there to be no, this is SiO2, silicon dioxide. That's quartz chemical formula. It gets all of its other colors by impurities. This has to have no other impurities at all in the quartz to give it even the slightest tint of color. It's colorless, colorless. Now, the neat thing, it does have a little opening there, which you could have some fun with night lights and lighting. And also, of course, these can go in aquariums. I've had them and they work great in aquariums, totally safe. Look at that, look at that. So this piece, not the other half, so it makes a really great display item in your home. And I just love the shape of it for that, because here, let me show you. Stand it up like this and you see the symmetry to it. That's cool. I like that. And then you can put a little light behind it, the little turns and changes color. You know. Okay, yes, Shawn, you been on the nog too long. All right. Price on this. You know what? I have $58. Well worth that, but it's going to be, let's start the year off with a bang. Let's make this guy, let's sell it. Let's sell it. $38. How's that? $38 has to be worth that. One more item coming up. One more item. Last item of the show coming up. Let me have one moment. Let me make it a good one. Can't believe no one bought that knife. Let's see, what do we have back here? Love that. Oh, here. I forgot about all of this. My, oh my. Just too many goodies. Let's look at, I cannot see either. Much to everyone else's benefit. Okay, what do we got coming out here? We have 927919 will get us. Let's take a look. Survey says, oh, cool. All right, barite. Look at that. You can see the flashes in this. Barite and chalcopyrite. And as we come in on this, And you can see just how thick the barite layer is. Barite, very heavy. Oh, there it is. I was looking for some chalcopyrite. There's a piece. It looks like gold. That really looks like gold. Oh. Once you find it, then you start finding all of it. You might want to scrub this one down. Oh, there's other minerals here. This is a discovery piece. In other words, this is one you get, and then you start looking at it to discover on your own what all this holds. That is exactly, look at the black minerals. That is exactly what that is. I'm going to price it just for that reason. I'm real curious what's lying underneath that layer of goodies. How about this? This is a end of show give me. It was easily really in the market value $28, but you know what? How's this? Add it to something else that you've already bought, $8. $8. And with that, we will be back with the trivia. Can't wait. Okay, so I hope all of you missed me, but I hope all of you had a grand, wonderful Christmas, holiday, New Year's, my birthday, all the days that I missed you. I haven't seen you since, wow, I don't know. It's been too long, hasn't it? Sure has. Okay, now, we missed out on the trivia for a few weeks. That means your brain should be running on full steam, right? No, because we all ate too much over the holidays, and our brains, if yours is like mine, is just thinking about that last piece of cake. That's all it's doing. No. All right. Everybody stay safe. You know what I'm talking about. You know what to do. Keep doing it. We'll get through this together. 2 trivia questions. Now, remember I said the trivia may not always be something we discussed in this show, or it may be something from another show, or maybe just something that I'm seeing if you have learned it. Answer it. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing to me as a wrong answer. And there's no such thing really as guessing. A guess is just your best educated answer. It's not a guess. You're not guessing. You're using your best possible education that you have to pull up from your memory and put together the best answer. So that's what I say. I appreciate any and all answers. All right, now, hopefully we'll get the whole family rounded back up and back on target, and send in your comments, send in your answers. Question number 1, in comparing demantoid specimens. Yes, we showed a few bigger, nicer ones today. As I held 2 specimens side by side, we saw green crystals and a yellowish ones on one specimen, and the other green, because we talked about, in general, money follows desirability. And if that green is the more desirable color, it becomes usually more valuable. Even if technically the other one is rarer, the green one will still be more valuable because there's a bigger demand on it, and the market has assigned a greater value. So color is so important in so many ways. All right. So I'll start over. In comparing demantoid specimens, we saw green crystals on one specimen and yellowish ones on another. What actual name is used in the trade for ones with the yellowish to cognac colors? Yes, there's a different name. See, we didn't cover it in this show. We didn't cover it. I didn't say the name. But you know there's a name. You know the yellowish to yellowish cognac color, even into the cognac ones. They're androdite garnets. I see them represented all the time still as demantoid garnets. But in reality, the market has assigned a different name to those colored androdites. What is that name? Question number 2. How much, we talked about the Mohs scale of hardness, right? It's 1 to 10, right? Simple, right? No. There's relative differences greater than just 1 digit from one to the other. Now, how much difference in actual relative hardness is diamond more than corundum, which is ruby and sapphire, the hardness of 9 on the Mohs scale? I'll repeat it. How much difference in actual relative hardness is diamond more than corundum, the number 9? We know it goes from 10 to 9. So I'm going to tell you right now, don't send back 1, because that's not the right answer. What is the actual relative difference in hardness between the number 9 corundum and number 10 diamond? Okay, good luck. So much more I could say. And I really, really look forward to all of you again next week because I feel like missing out a couple weeks. I'm raring to go. My son is really, really did a lot for me mentally that I needed. Seeing my father helped me a lot. And yeah, so I'm ready to rock and roll. God bless all of you. May this year continue as each day passes to bring forth blessings in your life and make you appreciate, whether your life's good, bad, or indifferent, that it is worth living for every day. So live, love, and laugh. God bless. See you next week.